Hi guys, today I will be building this 8x8x8 LED cube. Well, not only today, because this will take me a couple of evenings probably. So, these are the contents of the entire kit. Blue LEDs, 550 blue LEDs, transparent, controller IC, some other LED driving ICs, some resistors switch socket, spacers which will function as feet of this board, resistor array, capacitors and some nuts I believe, and some sockets or something like that, and a USB cable, and this red power LED. And so the most annoying thing about this kit are these transparent blue LEDs. Well, they should have put diffused LEDs in here, because diffused LEDs are just better visible from all the other angles. So I'm not going to use these. I've ordered over 1,000 green diffused LEDs, but those have not arrived yet. So the seller told me there were some delays at customs. Yeah, right. So see if those will arrive anytime soon. So also this red LED. I'm not going to use that either, because permanently lighting a red LED on a green LED cube just ruins the entire effect. It's not Christmas, I'm not going to use red and green together. So I'm going to replace this one with just a normal white LED. So it isn't a different color than the green ones, just to see the difference, but just not as disturbing as the red one. So white it will be. Should I change it to resistor? Yeah, I probably should, because the red one uses 2 volts and this one uses 3 volts. But I do not mind that this white LED is not at full brightness, so I will keep the same resistor. So I'm going to start soldering. There are 8 positions for resistors over here and 2 over here. Those are all the resistors on this board, and I've got 10 resistors over here and 4 over here. So my guess is that those 10 should come over there, and those 4 should come over there. So yeah, let's start by building that one. I'm not going to fast forward this video, because there are people searching the entire internet about how to build this kit actually. So I'm going to make a video about it, and it will probably get a little boring, but there is a very nice and handy red line at the bottom of this video where you can skip through my video. So let's put the resistors in first. The polarity doesn't matter for the resistor, left or right, it doesn't care, unlike the electrolytic capacitors over there. But those are the only, no, I'm not gonna tell you lies now. Those are not the only components which mind the polarity, but also this resistor array has a pin 1, the ICs of course, and the electrolytic capacitors. These normal ceramic disc capacitors don't mind the polarity also. So yeah, let's bend these first so I can put them in nicely. I'm not going to need all 10 of them, so I'm going to put 2 aside. Right, so I said the polarity doesn't matter, but I just like it when they're all lined up with the same color bands, because they are all the same value, those resistors. And that's probably a little just autism of me. Come on. So. Oh, I'm messing up big time over here. Three more to go. Right. So let's solder them. I'm going to use this solder. Nice clean. Put that out of the way. I'm not going to need that. Don't need that one. Right, that's 8 resistors. Where's my snips? Oh, here they are. Right. The other 2 resistors. I believe they go on the other side, yes. There's one for the LED, the power LED. Right. Let's see what I can do next. ICs will probably be a good idea. Now let me start first by the resistor array, because this one, the polarity does matter. It has a dot on it. It's probably not all that interesting to see on camera, but there it is. That means that is pin 1. And on the circuit board, the resistor array goes over here. This one is marked, so I guess that it goes in like that. Let's see if I can hold it nice like this, so that it's not bent while making the first solder joint. Of course, this is terrible to solder it like this, and of course it doesn't work. And this is actually probably not a good idea. Finally. Let's see if it's in good position. Yeah, that's nice enough. So, let's finish it. Alright, the crystal, which goes over here. Polarity doesn't matter for crystals. It has very short leads, so I hope it will go through. Barely. That's terrible. Let's try it like this. It will have to do, I guess. It's not good. Right. Yeah, let's start with the main IC, and it came with sockets. I'm not going to use those because sockets are handy if you mess up its position. It needs to go in like this because it has a notch over here, and it's displayed printed on the board also, so this is the correct position. Yeah, and they're also handy because if you just start soldering and you mess up some pins and you need to desolder them, the IC can probably get really hot, and ICs don't like the heat all that much, but I like to think that I know what I'm doing sometimes, so I can solder pretty quickly all the pins so that it doesn't get really much heat. So of course it won't fit, and that is the same with when I put them in the socket, because it also won't fit in the socket the first time. So I have to bend all the pins a little bit, and that's actually a little dangerous, because when I mess it up, I will have to bend them all back. Now let's see, was that enough? No, not quite. Alright, that should do the trick. Of course not. Well, no. Ah, terrible thing, these ICs. That should do it. Well, I said that before. There we go. Yeah, that's good. Polarity check. Yeah, that's okay. So now comes the most boring part for you. No, I'm not going to speed it up. Sorry, guys. So, it's not even warm. That is a great job. I just love to compliment myself sometimes. Yeah, the other ICs. And one is a little bit different, so I'm going to do that first, if I can get it out. Yes, probably the same story. It won't fit the first time. No, of course not. Actually, this is a little harder to bend, so. And that was probably bent a little too much. Yeah, so let's see, is that, oh, it's a mess. Oh, God damn it. There we go. So I can make probably an entire video out of this, but a good solder joint like this requires a few basic things. The first is a clean solder tip. Your soldering iron tip should be shiny and clean, like this one. That's what I've got this for. And when it's clean like that, it can take solder like that, and it sticks to the tip. And if it is not shiny, it will not stick. It will fall off or make a giant blob on the. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can. On the solder tin, and that's just terrible. So, a clean solder tip, and then the key to making a great solder joint is first put your iron to the pin and the pad, both at the same time probably, so that they can take heat from the iron, and then put the solder to the pad, the pin and the iron at the same time. And when that happens, it will flow and you can just let go. So when I see those life hack videos, I like them, not all of them, but most of them are great. And I see people just using their solder iron to make holes in plastic bottles and plastic caps, and that just hurts my heart. And then when you see them soldering with that same iron, yeah, that will not, they will just not make a great solder joint, because the iron is totally messed up. It's all blackened by molten plastic, and it's terrible. So I'm not going to just yeah, I'm going to say that. I don't want to insult the guys of the life hack videos, because they have great ideas and they make great stuff, but they just should not torture their solder iron like that. That's terrible. So there's another IC. I've got some spare sockets when I'm done with this. Will not fit all. No, I have to bend it a little again. Great. So will that fit first time? Oh, it must. There we go. Probably should pause the video within a couple of minutes because my phone or my camera, actually recording this with my phone, is running out of memory. So, that's another IC in. Maybe I will speed up this video. This is a good moment because I can now pause the video. Right, so let's continue with the ICs. Right, so that's all the ICs done. Next, I'm going to put those two capacitors in. Both are of the same value. It says 22 picofarads, so it doesn't matter which one I stick in which position. They're very tiny ceramic disc capacitors. A little further. That would be nice, yes. Great. No, I want it to sit right nice like this, yeah. Next one. Good enough. So electrolytic capacitors go on the other side. Well, there's actually a small capacitor 1 and a large capacitor 4 marking on this, but I checked, both are the same, both are 10 microfarads, so I don't know why the other one is bigger. Probably when they designed it, it was designed for a bigger capacitor, but they found, well, 10 microfarads is just good enough. I don't know what that's about, but since I only got those two, I'm gonna put those two in here. And these two mind about the polarity. So it has a marking on one of the ends. It's white with a minus sign on it. That one goes, of course, on the marking on this one. And the other one is marked plus, so that would be very clear. Also, one lead is shorter than the other, and the longer lead is always the positive. So that sticks in over here. Do them both at the same time. Let's see if they are they're nice. Right. Okay, so what's left? This block. And those are actually, it has some spaling. It's a little space in the spacing. Yeah. I need to hold it probably because I don't know. That will be probably just good enough. Is it within the camera? Yes, it is. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's not sitting correctly into its position right now. Oh. Now it is. Yes, that's good. Nice. So, what's left? This switch. Oh, nice warm. Yes, of course. And it has 3 pins. 3 pins like that. So polarity shouldn't matter. And of course, it won't fit. Why not? It should fit. What the? You can't be serious, right? Damn it. Well, it fits, but it's not really great. But it will have to do. Also, one other thing about making a good solder joint is what, like I said, you put the solder iron on the pad and the pin, and then put the solder just on it, and that's it. You also see people do this. Now, take a little solder, put it on the iron, and then put it on the pin, and yeah, it works. It looks like a terrible solder joint over there, and that's because this solder contains probably 60% tin, 40% lead, and 2% flux, and that flux takes care of the flowing of the solder. And the flux is the mainly responsible for all the smoke. So when you take a bit, you see all the smoke, and it stops smoking. So because the flux is all burned away at this point, so it defeats its purpose when you put a little on your iron and then put it on there. Then it doesn't work that way anymore. So let's fix this solder joint, and that's it. Never bring your solder to your project. Just let the flux in the solder, let it do its job. Do I have any components left? The white LED, my favorite white LED. And it has a plus and a minus sign, and it's not exactly clear, probably. Yeah, so again, the plus is the longer lead, and this one has a plus marked at the top and a minus at the bottom, slightly out of the center, so I guess, of course, this is the correct position. So let's stick it out a bit, or just put it flat to the circuit board. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. And this is always very irritating soldering, very annoying, because I'm actually missing a hand right now. I would like another third hand to help me bring my solder to both the pad, to the circuit board, my iron, and this, but I don't have a third hand. And that's That was just a little bit too long of my solder iron, putting it to the LED. LEDs are not really, they don't like heat that much, but this was probably well within its range. But the shorter the better. There it goes wrong again, because it's all going everywhere on my desk. Probably also some guys will probably note that this is a plastic desk, and those are electrostatic sensitive ICs. Yeah, and you're right. I should have a anti-static mat or something on it, or at least an anti-static wristband. But I do not, because I'm stubborn, and every time so far went okay without damaging all the other components. So yeah, I'll let me be stubborn. There's room for 2 tactile switches and some jumpers. Those were not within the kit, not within the package, so I cut them myself. And they told me, well, they didn't tell me. I read on the internet somewhere that's because you're gonna need those when you are gonna program some patterns on the cube, and that's exactly what I want to do. I want to, since I'm going to use green LEDs, I want to program some Christmas trees in this LED cube. So I'm going to need those switches and this jumper. Terrible solder joint. Also with these, when those are overheated, the plastic bottom part will melt, and all those metal pins will take all kinds of funny positions. So be careful with the heat on these. Tactile switches. So, not putting them into the kit, I put them on myself. Like they can determine what I want to put in on my circuit board and what not. And like we say in Dutch, dat make I zelf wel out. Alright, yeah, now I want to test to see if this is working. First I'm going to mount these feet, those spacers on there, which act as feet. Let's see about the timing and the capacity of my SD card. Oh, this is absolutely fantastic. Oh, I hate this. So I wanted to try actually something else, because we will have to break all these things, these pins out of this plastic. And then cut away the remaining plastic per pin, and it's actually a nasty job. So here we have this tiny metal pin which goes in here, and this is probably the most annoying thing about this whole kit, because this pin will go anywhere, everywhere. It should be in the most upright position, then only then you will be able to put all the LEDs in here. So I'm not going to put those on right now. I'm going to make one grid first and put these on the LEDs, and then see if I can put all 8 of these in here at the same time and then just solder them. But I want to test to see if this works. So what to do actually. Yeah, I'm going to just solder one LED in there to see if it works, and then clean the pad with my desoldering solder sucker. No, I'm not going to solder it. I'm just going to hold it in there and see if it works. And let's see, polarity logically would be those are all pluses and these are minuses. Then I have to put it the other way around, right? Why not stick a couple of them in there? Yeah, power it up. At least, yeah, it works. I can get it probably on camera, like you see. You probably can see the blue LEDs flickering at strange pattern for now, because it's missing all kinds of LEDs. But when I hold it in this angle, you almost don't see the LEDs lighting. And so when you're not looking at the cube at this angle, you're just missing a great deal of all the action. So that's why I ordered some diffused LEDs. So it works. Now I'm just going to have to wait for the green LEDs to arrive.